All right. Superintendent's report.
Just a minute, Mr. President.
Yes.
I'm just wondering, since we just now have approved this contract, when does it go in effect?
Oh, good question. Jeff?
We'll have, I believe Dr. Bork is a signer on this contract, so as soon as we get it signed tomorrow, I will scan it and email it over to the company, and they expect that we can be up and live broadcasting in 4 to 6 weeks. There's going to be setup on their end that they have to do. They have to get the equipment to us. We have to install the equipment and then do some training, but they think within 4 to 6 weeks, we can be training live broadcasting. So quite possibly by our next board meeting on March 13th.
The question, have we been videotaped since we started in this room?
We recorded every meeting video-wise since we've been in this room, with the exception of the last meeting. There was an error in the video recorder. We got the audio, but not the video.
So that was primarily for minutes, for writing the minutes, though, because since we didn't have the Swaggart contract.
Well, and I think this is an important meeting. Will this one, I mean, a lot of people are interested in it, will this one be, will Swaggart be able to do their thing on this one? No.
It's a pre-contract and then you meet, right?
If they have the videotape with the audio with it, they can, we're not asking the live stream, we're just asking them to do their thing and put it on their site with the rest of the meetings.
I'll have to inquire with that.
They're not under contract.
Okay. Matters of corporation interest. Dr. Bork?
Yeah, we have a couple items that I wanted to update the board on. One would be the Durbin Elementary School update. We have been in contact with some developers looking at other opportunities for the future of Durbin Elementary. One of the problems we have discussed is that even with our redistricting proposal and the ultimate approval, it does eliminate a lot of the portable classrooms as a site for education services. By opening Southeastern Elementary, we are taking a lot of pressure off the reliance on portable classrooms, but we will still have up to 4 buildings that are above capacity. So as we're looking at Durbin, we're examining ways that we can help the rest of the district. One of those ways would be to expand Durbin, maybe even by adding some 200 seats at Durbin. Do you know anything about Durbin? You know what that means, a substantial increase. That means a substantial expansion. That's an option. Renovate and expand on the site we currently have. We also could put Durbin, move the Durbin Elementary School to a site that we now own, that was purchased several years ago. We have 160-some acres. Not too far, but it's south of Durbin, where Durbin is right now. That's an option. But we've been talking to some developers about some other opportunities that could present some economic advantages to us. And this would be a result of not having to run utilities so far. Now, where those locations are, I'm not saying right now because I don't have guarantees. But I want you to know that we're having conversations. We have also met with officials of Noblesville to talk about utilities. And while I can't say that we have any agreements or anything to report, I can say that they have been very open to the idea that we would like to enhance our educational facility in that area. And if it comes under the Noblesville jurisdiction, they're willing to work with us to see that in a very positive way. So I can't, unfortunately, report anything specifically, but I am saying we have a lot of conversation right now, a lot of discussions. Mike and I are meeting even this week or next week? Next week with yet another developer to talk about the possibilities of the future. So you could ask questions, but I don't know that I have any answers. if we could go on then to transportation for choice students, and I think we have someone signed up.
I do have, so I asked a question about that. One of the things with the, I think with the referendum that was passed a couple of years ago was the elimination of portables. And I don't, and they are reduced, but they're not eliminated yet. With the expansion of Durbin, eliminate portables.
Yes. Yes.
And then we'd have one person signed up to speak on this matter, so Aaron.
Yes,
Sure, yeah. Dr. Bork, would you like to?
I would like to talk first.
All right, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Because that may influence what he has to say. We have met with a couple board members and with members of our administrative team to talk about the choice students and transportation. I mean, it's been brought up several times that there are some students who might have opted to go to a different location, a different high school, if they had had transportation. And because they didn't have transportation, they may not have chosen to do that. So our numbers of choice students may not reflect true desire, may reflect just what they can afford to do. So one of the things that we posed, was to present a survey, and it went out today to 8th and 9th graders, asking if transportation were to be made available in the form of a shuttle, such as that we do for the IB students, and for some other students who are choosing specific curriculum opportunities at the different schools. Would that change your mind? And we've asked that. We don't know what the result is, but we stand prepared to provide transportation for those students. It might mean a slightly altered day, probably a slightly shorter day. And I believe we could do that. We may be even able to offer that to upperclassmen who would like to do it and simply have not made that choice because of the lack of transportation. But we don't know what the need is yet. We don't know that there will be any additional students who would want that choice. But we are prepared to analyze that information and proceed accordingly.
Good evening. My name is still Aaron Uribe, and I'm the parent of a current 10th grader, choice student at Fishers, and also an 8th grader who will be attending Fishers as an IB transfer student. So as it stands right now, one has bus transportation next year and one doesn't. I would first like to thank the board for continuing to allow public input on this. I did receive the invitation to the 8th grade survey, but was extremely disappointed in the limited nature to it. The survey does not include multiple bus options or any question on redistricting, nor, in light of that, any place to even make comments. Of all the bus options that could be considered, the one listed on the survey is possibly the worst one. Other bus options could include buses based on actual ridership in a neighborhood, or a better shuttle option, that being all students ride to their closest high school, and then having shuttles that run back and forth between them, if that's the student's choice. As I've mentioned before, in a Flipper neighborhood, we currently have an HSE bus that comes at 6:40, and the Fishers bus comes at 6:55. If the only bus to our neighborhood came at 6:40, they could get to Fishers, and then people could transfer over to HSE. The majority of the people in our neighborhood that ride the bus go to Fishers, or we're an HSE district. I understand that there's also a 9th grade survey, but I've not seen a survey for the current 10th graders, which is my oldest son. So are we going to assume that they will all have a driver's license by next year, that someone has paid for a car for them, and someone has also paid their insurance? I just feel we're not including the 10th graders who've been at a school for 2 years, and if they don't have transportation next year, are going to have to change schools. My fear is that also as we slow walk this issue, we eventually will run out of time to fix it for the following school year. Given the fact that the live-in student population for HSE has nearly 1,400, it's 1,400 more students than Fishers, I guess the obvious question I've never asked directly is why aren't we redistricting just as a matter of responsible governance? Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional, Dr. Bork, do you have?
Yeah, out of a sense of responsibility to the district, we have delayed any kind of redistricting the because we know, as we just discussed, with the Durbin expansion, it will create a whole series of adjustments in the redistricting. And so when we are looking ahead with more definite decisions on what we're going to be doing, we will have to redistrict, and it will affect the high school. And so far, we've not made plans. I haven't shared that with the board yet, but we will have to talk about that, and at that point, some of the suggestions that you made will be realized.
And if I could also comment about that, the timeline then, could be, 2, 3, 4 years. So, in our last redistricting process, I heard very loudly from our parents that, minimizing that disturbance is key. And so I think that's kind of part of the decision is if we know this is coming down the pike, let's do it all at once rather than doing it and then redoing it. And so we're trying to band-aid the problem until then.
What's the timeline on that survey? Did you give people
Remember what time it was?
deadline? So do you anticipate bringing, do you anticipate bringing something to the board next meeting to address?
That's what we were hoping to do, is to bring some information back. One of the reasons that it's a short timeline is that, to that point, we need to be planning curriculum, we need the students to be able to make some decisions so that they can put some things to this wall.
And I did receive an email already about it with some very good questions. Mike and I got it. I forwarded it to Dr. Work, and I know you really can't change a survey midstream, but it would be nice to maybe keep the data from the ones that have come in, start a new one, and add a place for comments, because there's legitimate comments in here that really should be addressed, just by asking some questions, and maybe things that we haven't thought about.
Well, I'm sure we could have built a better survey and had time to
Yeah.
vet that for all the sources. We'll make sure that we process all.
Or maybe with a reminder, please fill out the survey, and if you have any additional comments you want to make, feel free to email, we'll add, whatever.
I appreciate you taking a look into this.
Yes, thank you.
The other piece to the update is I want to remind the board there's a board retreat next week on Tuesday and then on Thursday. It's a joint meeting with the city council. So that will not be an entire day. The board retreat will be all day. Well, it starts at, I believe it's 8.
So is that returning for? Draft agenda?
And the 21st with the city of Fishers, what's its timetable?
8 o'clock.
8 to 10. Do you have any idea what it would be?
I anticipate that's going to be a design thinking session where it will be facilitated maybe by KSM, and they'll put you through some of the processes that several different other groups have been through to determine what kind of projects to the city and the school may embark on. We have quite a partnership. And I don't know if we'll be assessing that partnership, but we may be looking at how we expand the partnership. The upcoming meeting, and that's an entire month away, but a second reading of your broadcasting of board meetings would take place at that time. On the action item, we have non-discrimination and equal opportunity second reading. And of course, that won't be a second reading, but it could be that we bring that back. I don't know if we'll be ready at that time. And that's all we have specifically on that agenda at this point. But as we have our meeting, our retreat, and the local city, look
I thought the broadcasting was done.
I wish it was done.
Oh.
Can we just finish it?
Oh.
That was just the first one. Obviously requires your name.
So we'll vote on the one that we approved tonight.
Yes, that's what happened.
With, oh,
Right.
right, the modified
Okay,
word.
so presumably if everybody voted for it.
Where we could read exactly what it says. That
Right.
That's what it was. Corrected word.
Okay.
Dr. Bork, concerning that agenda, March 13th, I saw today Skylar, we got an e-learning feedback. Would that be ready on March 13th?
Might be able to report on that.
And is that survey for the students as well as parents and teachers?
Where did that go out both to students and parents?
We modified the survey and sent it to students in grades 7 through 12. The questions remain the same. We just changed my child to my and that sort of thing.
And are we asking staff for feedback as well?
We have district discussion tomorrow afternoon, and the discussion team has brought forth that topic to be discussed.
When we put out a staff survey, we'd like to put in a little bit of discussion, and we get that discussion.
Dr. Bork is finished.